Right. So this is where generally machine learning in context to AWS is concerned. As in when wherever we are working on machine learning in context to the Amazon Web Services itself is concerned, wherein we need to create machine learning models here because there are different data resources which we need to create. So we need to create the data resources and all everything in the beginning time. So once we have created the data resources, this is where generally this machine learning models are required. Of course, there is a premium account which we have to be taken with. Means we need to create any kind of machine learning models and all everything. So there is something which we need to use it, right? So we have to create different machine learning models do we have, right? So we're into have some premium accounts, etc. All that. So wherein if we wants to use this machine learning model, wherein we need to create machine learning models over here, right? So here you can see there is of creation of machine learning models is what something which we have to create. So in spite of creating machine learning models and all, we can use even Amazon sageMaker even, right? So using because in the previous session and the video, if you remember, I have told you about Amazon sageMaker and all, right? So we're into design, deploy, build, deploy the applications, machine learning. This thing, even in Amazon sageMaker is what something which I have explained. So here we need to create the machine learning models over here. Here we need to provide what are the kind of machine learning model name has to be created. That is completely depends on the kind of model name what we are going to create, right? So for example, data, right? So data source is what something which has a model name we are creating, for example, right? So data source is a model name wherein we are creating. So whenever we wants to create a data model name, here you can see there is an option called create data model. So wherein whenever we wants to create the data models and all, wherein we need to identify what kind of models to be created and how these entities has to be updated. So all this information has to be updated over here. So this is something essentially important to create machine learning models whenever we are working on artificial intelligence using the cloud service provider, one of the prominent cloud service provider for AWS. Using this, generally we can use creation of data models and all everything we can create. This is one option. At the same time, we have another option for uh, uh, other option we have is which is called Amazon sageMaker, because in the previous session I told you, right? So Amazon sageMaker is one of the tool which can be used over here, right? So this is what sageMaker is. So wherein to create any kind of models for Amazon sageMaker here, wherein if we want to create or if you want to create any kind of labels or if you want to build or train or to deploy the applications and all everything. So whenever we wants to create all these, in order to create whatever the data models do we have and whatever the kind of machine learning models which we wants to create all that. This is where generally the R studio is like R studio because R is one kind of programming language which we already know, right? So R programming language will be there. So our programming language is there, right? So wherein if you want to install our programming language, we can install it because it's an open source tool wherein this can be even used here. So our programming, so yeah, because I have made a video in R programming also, right? So wherein if you want, you can have a glance over it, right? So this is where generally R programming language which is being used for. So our programming language can also be installed here. So I'll give a video connect. I'll give you a connect regarding this R programming, whatever I was created a video. So I'll forward that video to you, wherein you can have a glance over it, and you can see it. That is one thing which you can see, right? I'll show you that, right? So I will give a link to you in the video below. I'll give it. At the same time, TensorFlow, even TensorFlow were already created. So I have got a video as well. So wherein I have mentioned all that. At the same time, if you want to create any kind of Studio Lab as separate in context to the sageMaker, So whenever we want to create any kind of machine learning models or something of that sort, this yeah. So if you want to create any kind of machine learning models, wherein we need to create a free machine learning model, which we can. This is all something I'm explaining about the training purpose. So training purpose, these are all something essentially required and essentially important for us to learn it. So these are all are something sufficient for us so that we can use it extensively. So that's not required. So that is not needed over here. So that is something essentially needed. At the same time, if you want to create any kind of custom images and all everything in sageMaker, for any kind of models we wants to create, so wherein we can create images, whatever the images to be created, or if you want to create any kind of image properties, all these things can be created in this. So even identity access management, there are different roles can be created here using this S3 buckets or something, right? So whatever the roles we wants to create, whatever the buckets to be created, all these things using sageMaker can also be created for identity access management. And even for IAM, we have a tool called SailPoint. SailPoint is also one of the tool which normally we use it for identity access management in the field of IAM related stuff. When it comes to the artificial intelligence is concerned, is what something which normally we have to use it. So this is what and how usually this machine learning models in connect to machine learning models in AWS. At the same time, now as in when we have some limitations in relating to the free account, if you have the full account and all, depends on the requirements. This requirements can be, these accounts can be taken. So we have an option, other option we have wherein we can create models using the sageMaker and all everything, even to design, build and deploy the applications for machine learning applications in long run. So this is what something which this video is all about. If you have any questions, if you have any queries, please reach out to the contact details which will be provided below this video. Thank you.